You are sitting somewhere ordinary. Maybe after a conversation that went fine. Maybe at the end of a day that should have felt good. And there's something, not sadness, not anxiety, something quieter, a low, specific unease you can't quite locate. So you pour a drink, or check your phone, or find something to do. Not because the feeling is unbearable, because you have no word for it. And when you have no word for something, you have no handle on it. So you move away. Your brain didn't experience that feeling and then fail to find the right label. The word or the absence of one came first. This is the mechanism. Your brain doesn't receive raw emotions, it constructs them. When your body sends a signal, tight chest, low energy, a restless unease that won't locate itself, your brain searches for the closest concept it knows. Then it builds the emotion from that concept. Neuroscientist Lisa Feldman Barrett proved this across 30 years. The concept is not the label. It is the blueprint. The precision of the concept determines the precision of the feeling. An emotion built from a blunt concept is a blunt emotion. And a blunt emotion, one your brain cannot build precisely, is one your brain cannot resolve. So it keeps sending the signal. Barrett measured what happens when people have finer emotional vocabulary. The results weren't psychological, they were physical. People who could precisely distinguish between their negative states visited doctors less, recovered faster from illness, less likely to drink when stressed, less likely to lash out when something went wrong. Not because they felt less, because their brain could read the signal clearly enough to actually respond to it. Think of a doctor with one word for all pain. That doctor cannot diagnose, cannot treat, cannot do anything useful because the instrument is too blunt to read what's actually there. Your brain is that doctor. Your emotional vocabulary is the only instrument it reads with. Most of us are carrying 3 words for 100 different experiences. Anxious, stressed, fine, the bluntest instrument ever made for the inner life. Every uncomfortable feeling treated as the same emergency. Every low mood the same alarm. The brain cannot distinguish, so it cannot respond precisely, so the signal keeps arriving. You keep moving away. This is not a character flaw. It is a calibration problem. And to understand how the instruments got this blunt, you have to go back much further than you think. You have felt saudade. You didn't know the word, but you felt it. The Portuguese have a name for it. A longing for something beautiful that has gone or that may never have existed at all. Not sadness, not nostalgia, something more specific than either of those words can touch. When you read that, if you have felt that feeling, something happens. It crystallizes. What was vague becomes distinct, holdable. Your brain finally has a concept precise enough to build the emotion fully. Before the word arrived, the feeling was blurry, circling, unresolvable. After it is something you can see. That is not a poetic effect. That is the mechanism working in the other direction. Give the brain a precise enough concept, and it builds a precise emotion. One you can read, one you can do something with. Japanese has amai, the ease of safe dependence, the comfort of being able to need someone without shame. You have felt that too. You just had no instrument for it. The ancient Greeks had 6 words for love, not because they were more romantic, but because the distinctions were functional. Eros, philia, pragma, agape, 6 different signals about what a relationship was asking, 6 different responses available. These were not decorative. They were calibrated instruments, built by people who understood that precision in the inner world produces clarity in the outer one. Then something happened. The legacy of Descartes, the premise that emotions are irrational noise the rational mind must manage and suppress, meant you never built the instruments to read them precisely. Why calibrate a tool for something you're trying to get rid of? The vocabulary didn't disappear overnight. It atrophied quietly over centuries. And here you are, at the end of a day that should have felt good, with no word for what you're carrying. The tool is one question. The next time a feeling arrives, don't stop at the first word. Ask, what kind? Not anxious, what kind of anxious? Dread, which is formless and approaching. Apprehension, which is specific and nameable. Shame, which is about being seen. Each distinction points to something different in your body. Each one calls for a different response. A precise emotion is a more accurate map. Your vocabulary is not a mirror of your inner life. It is the instrument your brain uses to build it. You have always had that feeling with no name. Now you can start to find one.